if it wasn't for the fact that we would get copyright struck instantly. I would love to, in this video, put a whole bunch of 80s Italian pop songs.
Well, maybe we can do 10 seconds at a time.
Mamma, mamma, Maria, mamma, felicità, felicità. That's the only word of that song I know.
This means that I listen to this music a lot.
Yeah. I know a lot about 80s pop music, actually. But what I don't know much about is 80s Italian food. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't speak for Italians. But it seems to me that most Italians look back on their food of the 80s with a fair dose of embarrassment.
It's fair. What happens in the culinary world of Italy during the 80s? It happens that because Italians, they start to have actually money to spend. They had access to a lot of other ingredients that before they couldn't actually afford. They start, let's say, to be a little bit creative, also trying to emulate our very good French cousin, and we create some dish that resemble the French dish but with an Italian touch.
So you're already blaming it on the French. You guys need to take responsibility for this. So, here on Pasta Grammar, we tend to focus more on very traditional foods, usually that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But that is not to say that Italy is immune from food trends, just like everywhere else. And so we thought it would be fun today for Eva to introduce me to some very popular 1980s Italian food that has mostly died away or fallen out of fashion. But let's see, maybe there will be some pleasant surprises, and maybe some of these dishes deserve pulling out of the 80s trash bin. But before we go on our 1980s nostalgia adventure, a quick word about today's video sponsor. This video is brought to you by Helix, the makers of the best mattress we've ever had the pleasure of sleeping on. It actually took Eva and I a while to find a mattress that worked for both of our needs. But with Helix, it's easy because they provide premium mattresses that are customized for your needs. And they're shipped directly to your door. You start by taking Helix's sleep quiz. It's very quick and simple, but then they'll figure out everything that you need for a good night's sleep. Eva needs a firm mattress, so Helix paired us with their Helix Dawn mattress. I, on the other hand, tend to sleep a little bit hot, which is why they hooked us up with the Glacio Tex pillow top, and we were both getting the best sleep of our lives. We've been enjoying our mattress for a long time now, and we travel a lot, and believe me, we can tell the difference when we come back home. Once you're paired to your perfect mattress, they will ship it right to you. It could not be simpler because it comes rolled up in a box, and all you do is open it, it inflates. Gone are the days where buying a new mattress was a big hassle. Shipping is free within the United States, and you have a 100-night trial to make sure that the mattress is right for you. If it isn't, they'll come pick it up. Helix mattresses are built to last, they have a 10-year warranty, plus they offer financing options and flexible payment plans. If you're not getting perfect sleep, now is the time to change that. For the rest of the month, they're running their 4th of July sale, which you can take advantage of to get 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattress plus 2 free pillows, or take 25% off site-wide. Click the link down in the description below or visit helixsleep.com/pastagrammar to start saving on your new mattress today. A big thank you to Helix for sponsoring today's video.
So we need to start with the first course. And the first course is a risotto. Like every risotto, you need to chop some onions, a little bit of butter, toast some rice in a pan. Pay attention, when I say rice, I don't mean Thai rice or Japanese rice. I mean not arborio or carbonara.
I don't know, it's the 80s in Italy. Maybe they started making their risotto with jasmine rice.
You need to put some alcohol. And this time we are not going to use a normal white wine, but we are going to use champagne. Yesterday I went to the store actually to buy real champagne. But because I refuse to pay $50 for each kind of wine, more if it's champagne, I bought the Kirkland one. Look how fancy I am today with the champagne, Harper.
You would think since it's an Italian recipe that they would use like an Italian sparkling wine, like Prosecco or something.
Prosecco we drink. Champagne is the cooking wine in Italy. After the champagne is evaporated, you start to add the vegetable broth, a little bit at the time, and let the rice cook. Meanwhile, in another pan, you prepare the sauce. And this time the sauce is made with a little bit of butter and some strawberries.
Strawberry risotto?
Sì.
Is it sweet? Is it like a dessert risotto?
No, it's a risotto, but instead of mushroom, asparagus, zucchini, and the rest, you put the strawberries.
This side of the stove smells like an amazing dessert. And this side of the stove smells like an amazing but very savory risotto. It's a little strange.
We are going to combine them.
So you add the strawberries in to the risotto, and then you keep cooking it like a normal risotto?
Yes, you keep cooking the risotto like every normal risotto, adding some broth if you need. Then, like every risotto, you turn off the heat, you add a little bit of butter, Parmigiano because Parmigiano makes everything better. You stir very well, then you cover, wait 3 minutes, and the risotto is done.
I really have no idea what this is gonna taste like. It looks like a dessert risotto.
It's not a dessert risotto. Actually,
So
this
there's-
is one of the most elegant risotto that you could have in Italy.
I guess I agree with the elegance. There is an elegance to it. I mean,
Champagne
and-
strawberries.
but then also a lot of cheese and vegetable broth and
Because at the end, it's always a risotto.
things that I wouldn't put normally with strawberries, but I don't know. Shall we try it?
I think so, Harper. Are
Okay.
you scared?
I'm not scared, no. It's certainly very creamy and the consistency looks like an amazing risotto.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Frankly, if you didn't tell me that there were strawberries in it, if I didn't know, I don't think I would be able to guess. I mean, now knowing that they're there, I can taste them and they add a slightly fruity sourness, but it's not, I expected like strawberry ice cream strawberry. But no, not really.
Because at the end, it's a risotto. So you have all the consistency and elements of a risotto with just a touch of color given by the strawberries.
It does have a nice kind of light sweetness to it.
Elegant. It
Yeah.
has an elegant taste.
Yeah, but still cheesy, still savory.
Till now, for example, even if this was a dish of the 80s in Italy, still now, for Valentine's Day, if you want to impress your partner, you invite to eat a plate of risotto, champagne, and strawberries. Now, personally, I would prefer lasagna.
Yes, I don't know if I was stuck on a desert island, if I would take this over a lasagna. However, I have to say, I not only don't dislike that, I quite like that.
It's a good risotto.
The only thing I'll say is that I am extremely skeptical that you need to make this with actual champagne.
The champagne during the 80s made this a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I think
if
that's
you-
the only thing it does.
If you said back in the 80s, risotto with spumante or prosecco and strawberries, nobody maybe will listen to you.
I get that the champagne adds fanciness and elegance and cost, but I think if you're making this at home, I do think that sparkling white wine has a unique taste and it's different than a normal white wine, so I would use sparkling white wine.
A good prosecco.
It's lighter, it's a bit more of a delicate taste.
Prosecco Valdobbiadene all my life.
I don't think you need to go buy a
Really.
50 to who knows how much dollar bottle of champagne to make some risotto.
We didn't.
So what do we think? Is this a dish worth reviving from the 80s?
Look,
He said as he shoveled more into his mouth and made his position abundantly
Clear.
visually clear.
Look, if it's like, if actually at home you don't have anything else to put in a risotto, but you find 3 strawberries.
All I have in the fridge is champagne and strawberries. What will I do? I will go a step further. I think this is a good dish. I think it's worth making. Because of that, I will put the recipe down in the video description below. Maybe the 80s in Italy aren't so bad after all.
After all, maybe no.
All right, so what's next on the menu?
Next on the menu is another very fancy dish.
Okay.
Yes,
Were
because
the 80s just a very fancy time for you guys?
See, because of the French.
It's always the French fault.
Because of the French. Another very fancy dish that actually has 2 names. One name is the Italian, the other name is the French name.
Okay.
Because we called it with a French word, but it is 100% Italian. What you need to make this fancy dish is a piece of veal. Now, which piece of veal you need? You need a piece that in Italy we call a girello. Now, girello is a very lean piece of veal. Then what you do? You cook this piece of veal in a pot with onion, carrots, celery, some cloves, parsley, some bay leaves so it gives more good smell, some black peppercorn. You cook it like you are going to do a broth until the meat reach the inside the temperature of 64-65 degrees Celsius. And that's very important because you want the inside of your meat to be pink. Then you remove the meat, you let it completely cool down.
So far this isn't very weird. It's just boiled meat. It's also not very fancy.
Wait a moment, I
Okay.
didn't finish.
Okay.
Now it's time to prepare the sauce. The sauce is made with tuna fish in a can under olive oil, but pay attention to drain your tuna fish, some capers, anchovies, hard-boiled eggs, a little bit of the broth in which you cook the meat, and then you blend all together until it is smooth and creamy. When your meat is completely cold, you slice it very, very thin. It will be better if you have a machine like to slice the prosciutto, but if you don't have, do like I did with a very sharp knife. Then you place this meat on a tray, on a big plate, and then you garnish or season the meat with the sauce that you made. If you want also to be more fancy, you put some capers like a decoration. And here in front of you we have the most fancy and famous Vitello Tonnato, or as we call it in Italy, Vitello Tonné in French.
Oh boy. Now, in terms of appearance, this is maybe one of the least appetizing things I've ever seen.
It's like, it recalls like...
Oh, it recalls things. Oh, yes.
Like this, recall like the French style of pouring the sauce on top of things. Oh, this is what we have Vitello Tonnato. It was a Piedmont invention. They invented this in Torino. Actually, they are still now, today, very proud of this dish. And you can find this dish also in the Artusi's book.
Really?
Absolutely. It was present in the book, but it had this huge boom during the 80s, where in every fancy table you could find Vitello Tonné. If you had guests at home, would you prepare Vitello Tonnato?
Okay, well, I'm keeping an open mind because it obviously doesn't look great. But then again, there are some dishes that don't look like anything special but are amazing. So you never know. Okay.
Buon appetito!
Buon appetito. It's fine. The sauce is better than I thought. It seemed weird to me when you were making it, but it's not bad. The meat itself is kind of just a vehicle for the sauce.
Is the best invention of Turin? No, because they invented gianduja. But to be like a summer dish is not a bad summer dish.
Frankly, I know people in Turin are gonna get super angry at me, but I don't care. That would be like an amazing sandwich.
I was going to tell you.
If you put that sliced meat on a like a roll with that sauce on. It'd be a really good sandwich. By itself, it's better than I was expecting. The sauce is better than I was expecting, and it's fine. But would I go through the trouble to make it, especially to impress guests? Probably not.
Personally, I need to say that I remember it worse than this.
Really?
Absolutely. It's something that if I have a choice between this and I don't know, a panzanella, maybe I will go for a panzanella, but
I guess it's the perception and the way that this is presented is like the worst part about it, because the dish would be better if it wasn't presented as like a fancy thing and plated all flat like this. It's like, that sauce is good. So like, yeah, eat meat with this sauce. It's good. But as this dish where it's all plated flat and presented like so proudly, like.
we just learned from the French, Harper. It's their fault.
What do you got next?
So next I have a very, very creative dish. Now, in order to make this dish, what you need is boiled potatoes.
That's my kind of food.
And what you need to do, you need to mash the boiled potatoes.
Okay, even more my kind of food. Off to a good start.
Then you need to add some tuna fish in a can under oil.
Tuna in the potatoes.
Tuna in the potatoes.
Okay.
And then you need to add a lot of mayonnaise.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a pasta grammar first. Can't think of any other time you've made a recipe that called for mayo.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Sì, no.
Yeah, really add in the mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. I don't know if actually someone did this before, but to me it seems a pretty good idea to put some lemon.
Okay, at this point you're just trying to cover up the mayo. Be honest.
How can you say this? Now I need to put this in the fridge so it will harden a little bit, because then I need to shape it.
What are you trying to shape it as?
You will see.
Ava, what the actual
This is Pesce Finto, which means fake fish. Because as you can see, it resembles a fish, but it's fake because it's not real a fish. In every party during the 80s in Italy, you find the Pesce Finto. And everyone who did was so proud, because at the end it's not so easy to shape it into a fish and be creative with all the things to make it like that.
Is this April Fool's or something? Are you trolling me right now?
No, this is Pesce Finto. It
This
was
is a real thing.
maybe. Right now, I don't think so. But back in the 80s, it wasn't a real thing. It was one of the things.
Uh-huh.
Don't be like this, because then at the end, your potato salad is made like that.
No, our potato salad doesn't have pickle scales and a carrot tail and an olive and a caper for an eye.
Yes, but because we like our heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now here I need to say one thing in the defense of Pesce Finto. When you need to eat it, you should have some crackers, because it's a sort of
Oh, it's like a dip?
Sì, the dip, perfect, dip. You dip everything. It's a sort of pate that you spread or dip, and you eat with a cracker, a bread,
okay.
something like that.
That
In
makes
his
more
defense,
sense.
in
I
his
was
defense.
imagining you go to a restaurant and they're like, sir, here is your dinner.
No, but this is the way in which you are going to eat it.
Well, let's try it.
I can start from the eye.
I'm gonna go for some of the tail here.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. There are some interesting things going on here. Number one, I think you've messed this one up because the best part about this is the lemon juice that you added, which I'm pretty sure is not how this is actually made.
The lemon zest.
The lemon is is like what saves this for me, but I'm pretty sure that is your touch. At the end of the day, it's tuna and mayonnaise, which is essentially like our tuna salad, except for potatoes. The thing I'm noticing here is that potatoes make tuna salad better. It's awesome. It's really way better. You don't really taste the potatoes. It doesn't change the taste at all. It still tastes like tuna salad, but it makes them really smooth and creamy in a way that tuna salad normally isn't. So if it doesn't change the taste, it seems like a win-win to me if you like mayonnaise tuna salad, I would try putting some potatoes in because I think that's excellent. That being said, I am not a big fan of mayonnaise heavy tuna salads, potato salads, anything like that. I think when you have that much amount of mayonnaise, it just covers up all the taste of the ingredients. I'll never forget when you introduced me to Italian potato salad, which has no mayonnaise in it. It was the first potato salad in my life that I liked. And this is the same thing where, frankly, I can actually imagine a potato and tuna salad that's fresher, maybe uses just lemon juice or even some vinegar.
Potatoes, tuna fish, olives, capers, parsley, black pepper, a drizzle of olive oil.
And it would be just so much better, so much better. So I personally am not a fan of this and don't recommend it, but if you're someone who likes this kind of thing, maybe try this version. I would skip the part where you make it look like a fish.
That is the best part. That is the best part. Personally, I don't like mayonnaise at all. So for me, my judge is, how do you say, biased?
Biased?
Biased. But in my opinion, it's a good combination for people who like.
So are we gonna put the recipe below?
Do you need actually really a recipe for this?
No, actually, you really don't need a recipe. You mash some potatoes and you mix in some tuna and mayonnaise.
And as much mayonnaise as you have at home. So Harper, I want to know from you, what do you think about the Italian food of the 80s?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think overall, I prefer 80s Italian pop music. Ma 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 Maria ma 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 Maria ma. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed this look at the very interesting food of the 1980s in Italy. Before we go, a quick shout out to a pasta grammarian who made a very excellent recipe, farinata.
Which is a little bit older than the 80s.
Stuck around for a long time, which is how you know it's a really good food. That's no fad.
Very good job.
If you want to become a pasta grammarian, all you have to do is make one of these fish just like this, shape it perfectly, and tag us in a picture on Instagram or Facebook at Pasta Grammar, and maybe hit that subscribe button while you're at it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
There was a time when we were at a pizzeria and we were playing music, and Ava asked me to go tell our friend Bruno, who was playing the music, to put on that song Mamma Maria. Well, Bruno's mother's name is Maria, and so I went over and it was very loud in there, and I'm like, Bruno, Mamma Maria. And he looks around and goes, Dove?